Avatar The Last Airbender has to be one of my favorite shows of all time. A lot of good things can be said about a show as memorable and iconic as Avatar, but that's not what we're here for today, okay? If you want to hear that, go watch somebody else's video. Today we're talking about the Avatar Aang movie, specifically the movie, the leaks, and what I think this means for the future of Avatar Studios. So grab your Momo plushie, equip your flying bison glider, and let's get into it. Alright chat, let me give a little context first. In 2021, along with the formation of Avatar Studios, a new division of Nickelodeon dedicated to the creation of projects set in the universe of Avatar The Last Airbender, it was announced that there would be an Avatar film centered around Avatar Aang. To put that time frame into perspective, in 2021 I was a sophomore in high school. Fast forward to 2026, I am currently a sophomore in college, about to be a junior next semester. So yeah, this movie has been in works for a long ass time. Now the original plan for this movie was that it was going to be released in theaters, but because of the Skydance Paramount merger in 2025, it got moved to streaming, which obviously pissed a lot of people off, including me, because realistically, who the fuck is paying for Paramount Plus? There's nothing on there, unless you want to watch SpongeBob legally, or unless you want to watch an old Nickelodeon show, but again, legally, like I kid you not. The last and final time I paid for Paramount Plus was so I could watch the Grammys live, but see, here's where I fucked up at. I paid for the $9 version. In order to watch live TV, including the Grammys, you have to pay for the $14 version including Showtime. So basically, I wasted $9 on Paramount Plus, when in reality, I could have just gone upstairs and watched it on fucking cable, which is what I ended up doing anyways. So yeah, I basically wasted $9 on Paramount Plus. So yeah, fuck you Paramount. Bottom line is, this movie getting moved to Paramount Plus was just the beginning of something way worse for Paramount, because last week, the movie got leaked. Like, the entire movie got leaked online, where millions of people have probably seen it by now. And look, I'm not gonna get on a high horse and call niggas out for watching this movie on a pirate site, because I did the same fucking thing. I ate the forbidden fruit, and now I must suffer the consequences. Now you might be wondering who leaked the movie in the first place and how something like this even happened. Well, I'll tell you. Apparently there are a 26-year-old male from Singapore who just got arrested today as of me recording this video. And apparently he's been charged with accessing a media server without authorization. The charge carrying a max jail term of 7 years, fines up to $50,000 or both. Now, I'm gonna assume this guy is broke, because why else would you leak a movie if it isn't for money? So with that being said, this guy is fucked. It could be a lot worse though. I mean, he could have ended up like that one guy who was to pay Nintendo $14.5 million. So if you ask me, I think he got off pretty easy. Now apparently the original voice actors want the movie to get released in theaters, which I can definitely see happening, but at the same time, millions of people have already watched this movie online. In this current economy, there is no reason to pay to see a movie in theaters if A, you already know what the fuck is gonna happen, or B, if you can get it for free somewhere else. And sadly, both A and B have happened because of that leak. Now don't get me wrong, people are still gonna see this movie in theaters because they want to support Avatar, which is obviously a W, because the more money they make from this movie, the more likely they'll make more Avatar projects in the future. But I'm not gonna sit here and act like I'm gonna go see this movie in theaters. I'm not. I've already seen it. Hell, I might watch it again this weekend. And this is the problem when anything gets leaked online. It makes people less likely to engage with stuff in a legal way. So the movie is definitely gonna suffer because of this leak. You know, it's not gonna get as many ticket sales as it probably would have beforehand. Or if these dumb fucks are still gonna put it on Paramount Plus, yeah, nobody's buying that shit. Like, I could be wrong in a few months, but realistically, this movie has already flopped financially before it even came out. So with all that being said, I have one thing to say to the guy that leaked this movie in the first place. Was it worth it, dude? Was it truly worth it? I mean, look at you, man. You're locked up in a jail somewhere, having to pay $50,000 probably. Might go to jail for 7 years, just looking like a fucking idiot. How do you feel? How do you sleep at night knowing that you ruined this movie? You are a fucking bum, good sir. A bum. Anyways, I have some spare time on my hands, so let's talk about the movie itself, shall we? This is your spoiler warning. If you don't want to watch, then skip to the final thoughts part of the video. Yada yada, so and so. Anyways, let's get to it. So, I'm gonna get out the way right now. The writing is definitely the weakest part of this movie. Like, it's not horrible, but compared to the TV show, it's just not up there, man. It's really not. Apart from Aang, every other character in this movie just feels so one-dimensional. Katara, Toph, Zuko, Sokka, they all just feel like shells of themselves, I'm not gonna lie. I wish they had more to do than just make sure Aang doesn't die, but, well, you know what? You don't always get what you ask for in a movie, alright? The story itself is pretty cliche. You know, they do the whole plot twist villain thing with Taga, which isn't even a plot twist. twist. If you have critical thinking skills, you could definitely tell from a mile away that Taka was going to be the villain of this movie. And I might be the only person who thinks this, but me personally, I wish they had done anything else but talk about how Aang wants to bring back the air nomad culture. Like, literally, y'all already did this shit in Legend of Korra. Like, y'all couldn't have done anything else for this movie. It just had to be about Aang wanting to bring back his culture. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Legend of Korra, but something I always give the show props for was how they managed to explain how Aang brought back the air nomads for the use of Tenzin. Now, if you've watched the show, you know what I'm talking about. You know, Aang mentored Tenzin, taught him everything about air nomad culture before he died, and Tenzin was basically left to carry the torch. And they get into the family dynamic that Aang had with his kids, you know? Aang was always around Tenzin the most out of all of his kids, which caused his other two children to feel neglected by him. But anyway, so yeah, the writing is definitely the weakest part of the movie for me personally. I really wish they would have focused on something else other than air nomads, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. Other than that, the animation is amazing. Everything looks so fluid. The bending looks so fucking cool. Like, oh my gosh, I would never not praise this show for how cool they make bending look. The voice acting was great in my opinion. I know a lot of people were pissed that the original voice actors didn't come back, but realistically, they didn't want to do it. What the fuck are they gonna do about that, man? They didn't want to do it, so they got other people to do it. Shut the fuck up about it. Every action scene in this movie is a masterclass in how animated fights should look, especially the last fight, because holy shit, that shit looks straight out of a fucking anime, dude. The music was good too, you know, the sound effects were all good. Everything audio-wise was pretty good in my book. Overall, Avatar Aang: The Last Airbender is a great movie, not perfect, but still great. So with that being said, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. Props to Avatar Studios for making this movie, and sorry for watching it on a pirate site, but if it makes you guys feel any better, I'm definitely buying this show on digital when it comes out. Obviously, they're not gonna stop making Avatar projects. There's too much money to be made with this shit. They're definitely not gonna stop doing that. But the question has to be asked, would this movie have gotten leaked if they had just put it in theaters in the fucking first place? Probably not. Paramount's pretty fucking dumb for ever trying to put it on Paramount Plus in the first place. Because of their dumb decision making, this movie is now online for people to watch for free. So even if they did switch back to putting it in theaters, I doubt it will make any money in the box office. At the end of the day, I think this entire experience has been a major learning lesson for Paramount. Don't say you're gonna put something on the big screen and then switch over to put it on a streaming service and not expect it to get leaked. Before I end this video, I just want to say, since most of us watch this movie online, let's all buy it on digital or go buy some merchandise or buy a plushie or something. Literally anything to support this movie so we can get more shit like this. You know, we had our fun, we watched the movie months in advance, we're making TikTok edits about it and everything, but at the same time, there were a lot of people that worked on this movie that are obviously very upset it got leaked. So even if you don't fuck with Paramount, let's just put up with their stupid asses for this one fucking time so that these wonderful people can feel appreciated for making this movie for us. Other than that, guys, this has been Xavier Rants coming at you with Rants. Be sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. If you want to put a comment, put it in the comment section. Follow me on TikTok, and everything else can be found at this link in description. Other than that, adios.